Hidden away at the southernmost tip of South America lies a land that time seems to have forgotten. Welcome to Colombia, a country boasting some of the most astonishing biodiversity on the planet. From the wettest Chaco rainforests on Earth, the majestic Andes mountain range, to the vast Amazon jungle, this is a journey into the lost world. A place where the most extreme creatures gather, from dangerous predatory killers and vibrantly poisonous species, to bizarre beings never before seen on the map of nature. Get ready to step across the boundary of the wild. This is Wild Colombia, South America's lost world of extreme wildlife. Located in the northwest of South America, Colombia is the only country in the region that borders both the Caribbean Sea and the Pacific Ocean. This unique position gives Colombia a wide variety of climates and ecosystems. In just a short journey, one can travel from tropical beaches, through dense rainforests, up to the cloud forests of the Andes, and reach snow-capped peaks rising more than 16,400 feet. To the north lies the Caribbean Sea, with its coral reefs and mangrove forests. To the west is the humid Pacific coast. To the east are the vast Llanos grasslands, while the south connects to the Amazon rainforest. The Andes mountain range runs through the center of the country, splitting into three major branches and creating numerous valleys, highlands, and high mountain regions. The dramatic changes in terrain cause climates and vegetation to vary significantly with altitude. This diversity creates countless habitats. Over millions of years, many animal and plant species have evolved in their own unique directions, making Colombia one of the most biodiverse countries in the world. Here, there are thousands of species of birds, numerous species of orchids, amphibians, butterflies, and insects. In the deep forests, jaguars, howler monkeys, sloths, and anteaters coexist. In the skies are hummingbirds, parrots, and harpy eagles. Colombia is like a miniature South America, where seas, high mountains, grasslands, and rainforests blend into one vibrant, living natural tapestry. If the Andes are the backbone of Colombia, then its major rivers are the lifeblood nourishing the land. From the high mountains, thousands of streams merge into large rivers, carrying water and sediment down to the plains. The Amazon and Orinoco are the two most important river basins. In the south, rivers flow into the Amazon rainforest, where the rainy season turns large areas of forest into vast flooded regions. This is home to pink river dolphins, black caimans, giant otters, and many large fish species. When the waters rise, fish swim among the trees, while birds and turtles gather to feed and reproduce. To the east are the Llanos grasslands in the Orinoco Basin. The rainy season turns this area into a sea of water, while the dry season leaves the grasslands golden and the lakes shrunken. These seasonal changes create a unique rhythm of life. Fish move with the water, birds gather in flocks, and caimans, jaguars, and green anacondas concentrate around remaining water sources. The rivers also serve as migration routes for many species. They carry sediment from the Andes to the plains, enriching the soil and sustaining forests, grasslands, and wetlands. In Colombia, water determines life. The rainy season brings abundant food, while the dry season forces species to adapt and compete for survival. Each year, from May to October, when heavy rains fall across northern South America, the Orinoco Plains enter the flood season. Rivers overflow their banks, turning dry grasslands into vast inland seas. In just a few weeks, water levels can rise more than 3 feet, submerging grasslands, shrubs, and low-lying forests. The familiar dry season landscape disappears, giving way to a world where land and water become one. This change upends the lives of all creatures. Herds of deer, capybaras, and anteaters must seek higher ground to avoid flooding. Many rodents, reptiles, and insects are also forced to abandon their homes. Meanwhile, the floodwaters bring opportunities for aquatic species. Fish follow the water into the grasslands to feed and reproduce. Waterbirds arrive in huge numbers, turning the Orinoco into one of the most vibrant regions in South America during the rainy season. But when prey concentrates around the remaining dry patches, predators also begin to appear. Lurking beneath the murky waters is the Orinoco crocodile, one of the largest crocodile species in the world. They remain almost motionless, with only their eyes and nostrils visible above the surface, patiently waiting for the right moment. Each time a capybara, deer, or waterbird approaches to drink or swims through the flooded area, an ambush can happen in an instant. A powerful lunge, the massive jaws snap shut, and the prey quickly disappears beneath the water. For the animals of the Orinoco, the rainy season is both a time of life and a time of the harshest challenges. The water brings abundant food, but also ushers in the most intense hunting season of the year. Amid the flooded grasslands of the Orinoco lives a gentle yet vitally important species for the ecosystem, the capybara, the largest rodent in the world. An adult capybara can weigh up to 130 to 176 pounds. They live in groups ranging from a few to dozens of individuals, always foraging together to increase their chances of detecting predators. Capybaras mainly eat grass, aquatic plants, and young leaves. Each day, they spend many hours grazing on riverbanks before returning to rest in the cool water. Water is the safest refuge for capybaras. They have webbed feet that allow them to swim very quickly. When danger approaches, the whole group immediately dives into the river or swamp. Capybaras can stay submerged for several minutes, exposing only their nostrils above the water to breathe. This tactic helps them evade many predators such as jaguars, green anacondas, and wild dogs. However, the water is not entirely safe. Beneath the surface, patient predators are always waiting. For capybaras, every day of foraging is a delicate balance between finding food and avoiding becoming a meal for predators. Hiding in the swamps and rivers of the Orinoco is the spectacled caiman, one of the most common predators in South America. Most of the time, they lie motionless underwater, with only their eyes and nostrils visible above the surface. Patience is this crocodile species' most dangerous weapon. When a young capybara, waterbird, or fish swims too close, the attack happens in a flash. The caiman lunges using the power of its tail, clamps down with its toothy jaws, and drags the prey underwater. Adult capybaras are usually fast enough to escape, but the young are the easiest targets. That is why the whole group stays vigilant and protects the smaller members whenever they enter the water. During the breeding season, caimans show a completely different side. Females build nests from dry grass, decaying leaves, and mud on higher ground to avoid floods. After laying dozens of eggs, the mother stays near the nest for many weeks, ready to chase away monitor lizards, predatory birds, and mammals trying to steal the eggs. When the baby caimans begin calling from inside the eggs, the mother digs open the nest, gently carries each hatchling in her mouth, and takes them to the water. The young caimans continue to receive maternal protection in their first few months. However, only a few survive to adulthood, facing threats from large fish, predatory birds, snakes, and even other adult caimans. The spectacled caiman is both a formidable killer and a devoted mother. These contrasting sides have helped this ancient reptile survive for millions of years and maintain its important role in today's ecosystem. In the Amazon rainforest, there is a highly intelligent and tightly knit predator, the giant otter, the largest otter species in the world, often called the wolf of the Amazon River. An adult giant otter can reach nearly 6.5 feet in length. Unlike many solitary otter species, giant otters live in family groups of 5 to more than 10 individuals. The whole family hunts, defends territory, and cares for the young together. Each morning, the group leaves its den to begin the hunt. They constantly call to stay in contact while coordinating to surround schools of fish. With their streamlined bodies, webbed feet, and strong tails, giant otters swim fast and change direction nimbly. They drive fish into shallow water and then take turns attacking. In a short time, the group can catch enough food for all members. But the Amazon is not only home to fish. Beneath the surface, many other predators are ready to compete for territory. One of the giant otter's most formidable rivals is the spectacled caiman. When the two species meet, confrontations are often tense. A single otter may be in danger from a caiman, but when the whole group works together, the situation changes completely. The otters swim circles around it, vocalizing loudly and biting, surrounding the caiman from all sides. Faced with the relentless group attack, many caimans are forced to retreat to avoid injury. Teamwork is the giant otter's greatest weapon. Thanks to close coordination, they not only hunt effectively, but can also defend their territory and young against larger predators. In the wild world of the Amazon, strength does not always belong to the largest species. Sometimes, Victory goes to those who know how to cooperate and fight as a team. Without needing to be the fastest runner or living in packs, the jaguar still sits at the top of the Amazon rainforest's food chain. With its robust, muscular build and astonishing hunting ability, it is the terror of most animals in the forest. Jaguars have a very distinctive hunting technique. Possessing the strongest bite force of all big cats, they often bite straight into the skull or through the nape of the neck. Their bite can pierce a turtle's hard shell, a monkey's skull, or the thick armor on a caiman's head. This extraordinary power has made the jaguar the most fearsome predator in the Amazon rainforest. An adult jaguar can weigh more than 220 pounds. Its low, broad-shouldered body and well-developed muscles allow it to generate tremendous power when attacking. Its golden coat, covered in distinctive rosettes, not only creates a majestic appearance, but also provides perfect camouflage among the light and shadow of the rainforest. Jaguars have a very large hunting range. They can prowl through dense jungle, cross flooded grasslands, climb trees, and are particularly excellent swimmers. They are among the very few big cat species that do not avoid water. Many individuals regularly cross rivers, dive briefly, or ambush prey right at the water's edge to hunt fish, turtles, and caimans. The jaguar's diet is among the most diverse in the carnivore world. Scientists have recorded more than 80 animal species that can become their prey, from capybaras, deer, peccaries, monkeys, sloths, anteaters, turtles, and large fish, to green anacondas and spectacled caimans. However, jaguars are not always successful. An adult capybara can dive into water very quickly. A large caiman can fight back with its sharp-toothed jaws. Even kicks from dire peccaries can seriously injure a jaguar. Therefore, every hunt is a careful calculation of benefits versus risks. As solitary animals, each jaguar controls a large territory marked by scent and claw scratches on trees. They only meet during the breeding season. For most of their lives, they quietly patrol their own forest domain. But the jaguar's greatest value lies not only in its hunting ability. In any ecosystem, apex predators play a role in regulating animal populations. The Amazon is no exception. By hunting the old, weak, sick, or overly abundant individuals, jaguars help maintain balance between herbivores, omnivores, and vegetation. Without jaguars, populations of capybaras, peccaries, or other medium-sized mammals could grow rapidly. They would consume more plants, compete for food with other species, and alter the forest structure. These changes would ripple out to birds, reptiles, insects, and even the rivers. That is why ecologists consider the jaguar a keystone species of the Amazon rainforest. Protecting the jaguar's territory benefits hundreds of other plant and animal species. For a small spider or a cricket on the Amazon forest floor, the greatest danger is not birds or lizards. It is when the ground begins to tremble under the footsteps of hundreds of thousands of army ants on the march. Unlike most ant species that build fixed nests, army ants are almost constantly on the move. They do not build nests from soil or trees, but create a living nest from the bodies of tens of thousands of individuals. The ants cling tightly to one another with their legs and jaws, forming a large mass that surrounds the queen, eggs, larvae, and pupae. At dawn, this walking city breaks apart and continues its journey. At the center of the colony is the queen, the only individual tasked with reproduction. Around her are countless worker ants responsible for caring for eggs, feeding larvae, finding food, and transporting the young. Protecting the colony are the soldier ants with their large heads and powerful pincer-like jaws. They always stay at the edges of the formation, ready to charge at any threat that dares approach. The greatest strength of army ants lies not in individual ants, but in their nearly perfect coordination. Each performs a small task, but when hundreds of thousands work together, they form a giant hunting machine. On their march, the ants may encounter streams, gaps, or fallen trees. Instead of turning back, they use their own bodies to overcome obstacles. Thousands of ants link legs to form living bridges or hanging chains that help the colony cross gaps. Once the army has passed, the bridges automatically disband, and each ant continues the journey as if nothing had happened. Each day, the ant column expands into a band dozens of feet wide, slowly sweeping across the forest floor. Any small creature that fails to escape in time may become prey. Scientists estimate that a large army ant colony can kill and collect tens of thousands of small creatures each day. These continuous sweeps keep the forest floor in a state of flux, forcing countless species to adapt in order to survive. Yet not all species try to avoid them. Many birds, especially those that follow ant swarms, see this as a rare feeding opportunity. They do not eat the ants but perch just ahead of the column, waiting for panicked insects, spiders, or lizards fleeing the ants, then swoop down to catch them. Even some frogs, lizards, and butterflies take advantage of the army ants' migration to hunt or forage. Thus, each march is not only a hunt, but also triggers a chain reaction that spreads throughout the forest. With just a few wing beats, a gigantic shadow merges with the air currents over the Andes. After that, it barely needs to flap again. Dozens of minutes pass as the bird silently circles in the sky, letting rising warm air currents lift it over cliffs thousands of feet high. This is the Andean condor, the largest flying bird in the world by wingspan. An adult can have a wingspan of up to nearly 10 feet. At altitudes over 13,100 feet, where thin air makes flying difficult, the condor turns the rugged terrain into an advantage. It uses columns of warm air rising from mountain slopes to gain height continuously, then glides effortlessly for dozens of miles with almost no energy expenditure. From high above, the condor's keen eyes can survey a vast area. They do not chase prey like eagles, but patiently search for animal carcasses. A guanaco that died from the cold, a deer killed by a predator, or livestock that perished on the mountain are quickly spotted. When one individual descends, others soon follow. In a short time, the carcass is cleaned almost completely. This significantly reduces bacteria and disease sources, helping keep the mountain environment clean. Because of this special role, the Andean condor is considered the cleaning crew of the Andes. They not only maintain ecosystem balance, but also help recycle nutrients back into nature. For many indigenous cultures of South America, the condor is also a symbol of strength, freedom, and the sky. But today, habitat destruction, poisoning of animals, and human expansion are causing this bird species' numbers to decline. A single flower just beginning to bloom is enough to make the cloud forest come alive. From many directions, colorful specks dart in and suddenly hover in midair. They fly forward, backward, and change direction constantly without their feet ever touching a branch. This is the hummingbird, one of the tiny wonders of the bird world. To perform these maneuvers, their bodies operate at astonishing speed. When flying, their hearts can beat up to 1,000 times per minute, and their wings flap about 70 times per second. The enormous energy expenditure forces them to constantly seek flower nectar to stay alive. Their long, slender beaks and specialized tongues allow hummingbirds to easily access nectar deep inside flowers. While feeding, their heads and beaks become covered in pollen. When they fly to the next flower, that pollen is transferred to the stigma, completing pollination. With a simple feeding action, hummingbirds help hundreds of plant species continue to reproduce. Over millions of years of evolution, hummingbirds and flowers have changed to adapt to each other. Some flowers have very long nectar tubes that only beaks of the right curved length can reach. In turn, each hummingbird species' beak shape has gradually changed to efficiently exploit nectar from different flowers. This relationship is one of the most classic examples of coevolution in nature. Without hummingbirds, many flower species would struggle to reproduce. Conversely, without those flowers, hummingbirds would lose an important food source. If a bee suddenly slips and falls into the bucket filled with liquid of a flower, it is no accident. Everything has been calculated in advance by this plant. This is the sophisticated trap used by the bucket orchid, genus Coryanthes, to ensure its pollination. Coryanthes orchids usually grow on large trees in cloud forests. The base of the tree is home to many ant colonies. The ants protect the tree from leaf-eating insects, while the orchid takes advantage of this stable environment to grow. This is a symbiotic relationship that helps both survive. When the flowering season arrives, Coryanthes releases a very special fragrance. What attracts is not sweet nectar, but aromatic compounds that male bees collect to use in finding mates. Drawn by the scent, the bee lands on the petal and begins scraping up drops of essential oil. But the petal surface is extremely slippery. One slip, and the bee falls into the liquid-filled bucket below. To escape, the bee has only one narrow exit. On the way through, the orchid's pollen masses stick firmly to its back. On its next visit to another Coryanthes flower, the bee must pass through the same exit. This time, the pollen mass touches the stigma, completing pollination. Without offering sweet nectar as a reward, the bucket orchid still succeeds in turning the bee into a loyal pollen carrier. This is considered one of the most sophisticated and unique reproductive strategies in the plant world. The story between Coryanthes and perfume-collecting bees is clear proof of the power of evolution. Over millions of years, plants and insects have changed together to create an almost perfect bond. When the first sunlight filters through the Amazon canopy, sharp calls begin to ring out from above. Groups of agile brown capuchin monkeys swing from branch to branch, starting another day of foraging in the green canopy of the forest. Brown capuchin monkeys are among the most intelligent primates in South America. They live in groups of dozens of individuals, with each having its own role. The whole group moves, forages, and protects the young together against threats from jaguars, harpy eagles, or large snakes. Capuchins have a very varied diet. They eat ripe fruit, seeds, young leaves, insects, bird eggs, and sometimes small animals. Their dexterous hands help them peel fruit, crack seeds, or flip bark to find hidden insects. Not only intelligent, capuchins are also famous for using tools. Some populations know how to use stones to crack hard-shelled nuts or sticks to extract food from narrow crevices. These behaviors are passed from generation to generation, like a form of social learning in monkey society. While foraging, capuchins unintentionally perform a much more important task. After eating fruit, they carry seeds to different places and drop them on the forest floor or scatter them during movement. These seeds are dispersed far from the parent tree, reducing competition for light and nutrients. Many later germinate, creating new young trees and helping restore areas of forest damaged by fallen trees or natural disasters. Thanks to traveling over wide areas each day, a group of capuchins can disperse hundreds of seeds from many different tree species. That is why ecologists view them as the quiet gardeners of the tropical rainforest. For the Amazon, capuchins are not just intelligent primates. Every leap they make through the treetops is also a journey bringing life to the next generation of forest. Not all construction work in the forest happens in the high canopy. Right beneath the leaf litter, a team of diligent workers labors tirelessly. These are dung beetles, tiny creatures that play a crucial role in regenerating the ecosystem. Whenever animals such as monkeys, deer, capybaras, or jaguars leave droppings, dung beetles quickly appear. In just a few minutes, they begin cutting, rolling, or dragging portions of the dung away from the original spot. Depending on the species, dung beetles work in different ways. Some roll dung into balls and push them dozens of feet away. Others dig tunnels right beneath the dung pile and pull the entire food source underground. After finishing the small burrow, They bury the dung inside. This serves as food for their larvae and becomes a natural nutrient-rich fertilizer for the soil. Notably, animal dung often contains many undigested seeds. When buried by dung beetles, these seeds have ideal conditions to germinate. This process is called secondary seed dispersal. If large mammals are the seed carriers across the forest, dung beetles are the planters. They take seeds deep into the soil, protecting them from birds, rodents, or other insects, while increasing germination chances after rains. Besides sowing seeds, the burrowing activity of dung beetles loosens the soil, allowing water and air to penetrate more easily. They also help decompose organic matter, recycle nutrients, and limit the spread of many parasites. Though only a few centimeters long, each dung beetle contributes to the functioning of the forest. Millions of individuals working every day quietly improve the soil, sow new seedlings, and maintain the cycle of life. As the final rains of the season begin to ease, Colombia's rainforests enter a special phase. Many animals take advantage of this short window to complete their reproductive cycles before the dry season begins. High in the canopy, a small frog species is preparing for the most dangerous challenge of its life. After the rains, large leaves filled with water become ideal places for gliding frogs to mate and lay eggs. Males call loudly throughout the forest, attracting females to branches about 26 feet above the ground. After the eggs hatch, the tadpoles still cannot survive on their own. They need to leave the nest and reach the pools of water below, where there is enough food and suitable conditions for development. What is astonishing is that this journey has no safe path. From the edge of the leaf, the tiny tadpoles one by one launch themselves into the air. For them, it is a fall equivalent to dropping from a multi-story building relative to their body size. Fortunately, their very lightweight and soft bodies greatly reduce the impact force when hitting the water. Most tadpoles survive this bold leap and quickly swim to find shelter. However, many dangers still await below. Fish, predatory insects, and larger frogs can all turn them into a meal. Only a small percentage of tadpoles reach adulthood, but it is precisely these daring leaps that have helped this frog species survive through countless generations in the tropical rainforest. Amid the green of the tropical rainforest, bright spots of yellow, blue, or fiery orange sometimes stand out. Instead of trying to camouflage, these small frogs deliberately make themselves visible to predators. This is the warning of the poison dart frog. The more striking the colors, the higher the danger level usually is. Predators that have tasted them rarely make the mistake a second time. What is special is that poison dart frogs do not produce toxins themselves. Their toxins come from their diet, mainly small ants, beetles, and some arthropods containing natural toxic compounds. Through metabolism, the frog's body accumulates these substances in skin glands. In the golden poison frog, Phyllobates terribilis, the main toxin is batrachotoxin, one of the most potent natural toxins ever known. It directly affects the nervous system and heart muscle, causing cells to lose control of nerve signals. Scientists estimate that the amount of toxin on the skin of one adult individual could be enough to kill more than 100 people if absorbed in the right dosage. That is why almost no predators dare attack them. Interestingly, when raised in captivity with a different diet from the wild, many poison dart frog species gradually lose their ability to accumulate toxins. This shows that diet plays a decisive role in their power. Long before modern science discovered the power of batrachotoxin, the Embera people living in Colombia's rainforests knew how to harness this special toxin for hunting. For them, the golden poison frog is not something to exploit recklessly, but a precious gift from nature. Each time they collect toxin, it is done very carefully to minimize harm to the animal. After catching a frog, the hunter gently stimulates the skin glands to release the toxin. The tips of small darts are dipped into this secretion and then dried. Even a very small amount creates an extremely effective hunting weapon. These darts are then used with traditional blowpipes to hunt monkeys, birds, and small mammals living in the canopy. Thanks to the extremely fast action of the toxin, prey quickly loses mobility, helping hunters reduce chasing time in the dense forest. Over many generations, the Embera have passed down knowledge of how to identify the frogs, when to collect toxin, and how to use the darts safely. It is not only a survival skill, but also an important part of the indigenous community's culture. Today, many Embera groups continue to maintain these traditional practices while participating in forest and wildlife conservation activities. They understand that only while the forest remains can these special frog species continue to live. At first glance, it is hard to believe that a toothless animal could become the terror of millions of ants and termites. Yet in the forests and grasslands of South America, the giant anteater has evolved into an almost perfect insect hunting machine. The first striking feature is their bizarre appearance: a long, narrow snout like a tube, powerful front legs with enormous curved claws, shaggy fur, and a large bushy tail. Unlike any other mammal, the long claws help giant anteaters dig and break open termite nests as hard as concrete. Because the claws are so large, they cannot place their entire foot on the ground like other animals, but walk on their knuckles, protecting the claws and keeping them ready for digging when prey is detected. Although their eyesight is quite poor, their sense of smell is extremely keen. They can detect ant or termite nests deep underground from a distance. When they find a target, powerful claw strikes quickly tear open the hard outer layer of the nest. Immediately, their nearly 20-inch long tongue flicks in and out at astonishing speed. Thick, sticky saliva helps hundreds of ants and termites stick to the tongue before being swallowed. Interestingly, giant anteaters do not stay long at one nest. They feed for about 1 minute, then move on, allowing ant and termite populations to recover. This way, their food source is maintained long-term and the ecosystem stays balanced. Each day, an adult individual can consume up to about 30,000 ants and termites. Thanks to these professional hunters, insect numbers are kept in check, limiting damage to trees and vegetation. Despite their gentle appearance, giant anteaters have formidable self-defense capabilities. When attacked by jaguars or other big cats, they can stand on their hind legs, use their tail as a prop, and swing their sharp claws to fight back. While the giant anteater rules the ground, in the canopy of the Amazon lives a smaller but much more agile relative, the tamandua. Smaller than the giant anteater, the tamandua weighs only about 9 to 18 pounds. Its compact, lightweight body allows it to move easily among the interwoven branches in the rainforest. The most special feature of the tamandua is its semi-prehensile tail. When climbing, the tail wraps tightly around branches like a fifth limb, helping maintain balance while the front legs use claws to dig into ant or termite nests in tree hollows. Like its ground-dwelling relative, the tamandua has a long snout, sticky tongue, and highly developed sense of smell. It gently pries open decaying bark, inserts its long tongue, and quickly retracts it with dozens of ants and termites. But life in the canopy is also full of dangers. Hiding among the branches is the boa constrictor, a patient predator that specializes in ambushing birds, squirrels, and small mammals. If a tamandua carelessly gets too close, the snake can strike and coil tightly around its prey. To avoid traps, tamanduas always move slowly and cautiously. Their keen sense of smell helps them detect predator scents in advance. When sensing danger, they quickly move to another branch or climb to hard-to-reach positions. If there is no escape, the tamandua stands on its hind legs, grips a branch firmly with its tail for balance, and raises its front legs high. Its sharp claws then become formidable defensive weapons, strong enough to make many predators abandon their attack. Though less noticed than jaguars or harpy eagles, the tamandua still plays an important role in controlling ant and termite numbers in the canopy. In the tropical rainforest, most creatures must move quickly to find food or escape predators. But one species lives by almost the exact opposite rule. The slower it is, the greater its chance of survival. The sloth, the animal famous for the slowest lifestyle in the world. A sloth moves only a few dozen feet per day and spends 15 to 20 hours resting. Their main food is tree leaves, a very low-energy nutrient source, causing digestion to take much longer than in most other mammals. At first glance, slowness seems like a disadvantage, yet it is precisely this slow pace that helps sloths blend into the canopy. Their almost imperceptible movements make it very difficult for predators to detect them. Over time, a layer of green algae grows on their thick fur. This natural moss coat helps their bodies camouflage perfectly among the leaves and moss covering the branches. What is strange is that this fur does not belong only to the sloth. Hiding among the hairs are hundreds of small moths called sloth moths. They spend almost their entire life cycle on the sloth's body, creating a rare symbiotic relationship in nature. About once a week, the sloth performs its most dangerous action. It slowly climbs down to the ground to defecate, a habit that scientists still debate the reasons for. This is also when the sloth is most vulnerable to attack. Jaguars, boa constrictors, or harpy eagles can all ambush the nearly defenseless animal. But it is precisely this risky trip that allows the moth life cycle to continue. After the sloth defecates, the moths fly down to lay eggs in the dung. The larvae develop there before maturing and flying back to find another sloth. While living on the fur, the moth's remains and waste provide nutrients for the algae to grow. In return, the algae help the sloth camouflage better and may supply a small amount of additional nutrients. Three completely different creatures, the sloth, algae, and moths, have formed an interdependent cycle over millions of years of evolution. The seemingly calm surface of an Amazon swamp suddenly ripples slightly. There is no loud noise, no warning sign. Only a pair of eyes and two nostrils rise above the water, then quickly disappear. Beneath the murky water, one of South America's most fearsome predators is silently waiting. The green anaconda, the heaviest snake species in the world, and one of the symbols of the rivers, swamps, and flooded forests in the Amazon and Orinoco basins. An adult female anaconda can grow more than 20 feet long and weigh over 220 pounds. Some exceptional individuals are even larger. Their massive bodies make them not very fast on land, but underwater, it is a completely different story. Water is the anaconda's domain. With eyes and nostrils positioned on top of the head, they can remain almost fully submerged while still observing and breathing normally. Their olive green skin with black spots helps them blend with algae, mud, and tree shadows, reflected on the water surface, making prey very hard to detect. Unlike snakes that actively chase, anacondas are masters of ambush tactics. They can lie motionless for hours or even days, waiting for prey to accidentally enter striking range. That could be a capybara coming to drink, a deer swimming across the river, a water bird feeding along the shore, or even a small spectacled caiman. The decisive moment lasts less than a second. The anaconda suddenly lunges out of the water, seizing the prey with dozens of curved, backward-pointing teeth. These teeth have no venom, but are enough to prevent the prey from escaping. Immediately after the first bite, the massive muscular body quickly coils around the victim. Each time the prey tries to breathe, the coils tighten further. Previously, many believed anacondas kill by suffocation. However, studies show their constriction also quickly disrupts blood circulation, preventing the heart and vital organs from receiving enough oxygen. In just a few minutes, the prey is completely exhausted. Once all movement stops, the anaconda begins swallowing the prey headfirst. Its flexible jawbones and elastic ligaments allow the mouth to open very wide, enough to swallow prey much larger than its body diameter. One large meal can provide enough energy for the anaconda for many weeks or even months. Therefore, they do not need to hunt frequently like other carnivores. Though a formidable predator, anacondas do not rule the forest alone. Large caimans, jaguars, or schools of piranhas can also become rivals or threats to young individuals. In nature, every species is part of the food chain, and no creature is completely invincible. The presence of anacondas helps control populations of many animals such as capybaras, waterbirds, fish, and other reptiles. This prevents prey populations from growing excessively and contributes to maintaining balance in wetland areas. Not only rainforests and high mountains, Colombia is also one of the rare South American countries with coastlines on both the Caribbean Sea and the Pacific Ocean. These two seas, with completely different conditions, have created some of the richest marine ecosystems in the region, from vibrant coral reefs to deep waters where giant whales live. Beneath the clear turquoise waters of the Caribbean Sea, coral reefs stretch like miniature cities on the ocean floor. Built by millions of tiny coral polyps over hundreds of years, they have become home to countless marine creatures. Among the coral crevices, colorful schools of reef fish swim constantly, sea turtles come to seagrass beds to feed, while stingrays glide silently over the sandy bottom hunting prey. Each species plays its own role in the underwater food web. Coral reefs not only nurture life, but also serve as natural shields for the coastline. They absorb most of the wave energy, reduce erosion, and protect beaches and mangrove forests behind them. After many years wandering the oceans, female sea turtles return to the exact sandy beach where they hatched to reproduce. Using their ability to sense Earth's magnetic field, they can travel thousands of miles to find their homeland again. At night, the female slowly crawls onto the beach, digs a nest, and lays dozens to more than 100 eggs before quietly returning to the sea. After many weeks, the baby turtles emerge together from the sand and race toward the ocean. This is their first and most dangerous survival race. Seabirds, crabs, large fish, and many other predators are always waiting. Every adult turtle that returns to the nesting beach is proof of a life cycle spanning decades and a symbol of the ocean's resilient vitality. Each year, humpback whales leave the cold waters near Antarctica to undertake a migration of thousands of miles to the warm waters off Colombia's Pacific coast. Here, they mate, give birth, and raise their calves in calm waters. The first months of life in a warm environment help the calves grow before returning with their mothers to the food-rich cold waters. This whale species is famous for its songs, lasting many minutes. The complex sound sequences can travel far underwater, helping them communicate during the breeding season. The annual appearance of humpback whales is not only a natural wonder, but also shows that Colombia's waters still play an important role in the lives of these giant creatures. Protecting the ocean today also means preserving the whales' songs for future generations. Northern Colombia is a world completely different from the Amazon rainforest or the Andes. La Guajira is a land of sand, wind, scorching sun, and long dry seasons. Yet even in these harsh conditions, life still finds ways to survive. Golden sand dunes stretch all the way to the Caribbean shore, where deep blue waves continuously crash against the barren land. This is La Guajira, one of Colombia's most unique landscapes. During the day, the sand absorbs heat and becomes scorching. Strong winds constantly reshape the dunes, while the scant rainfall makes it difficult for plants to grow. Only plants capable of storing water or with deep roots can survive. Animals also limit activity during the hottest part of the day. Many species hide in burrows, under rocks, or in the shade, appearing only in the early morning and at night. In the midst of the parched desert, flocks of flamingos suddenly appear like a moving pink ribbon on the water. They gather at coastal lagoons, where shallow, salty water contains abundant algae, small crustaceans, and plankton. Flamingos use their specially curved beaks to filter food from mud and water. While feeding, they often bend their heads upside down into the water, moving their beaks back and forth. Small structures inside the beak retain food while water and mud are pushed out. The pink color of their plumage comes from pigments in their food. Thus, their diet not only sustains life, but also creates the striking appearance of this bird species. When the whole flock takes flight, hundreds of pink and black wings spread across the sky. In the arid landscape of La Guajira, flamingos become the clearest symbol of nature's adaptability. When sand surface temperatures rise, most animals have sought shelter, but this is the domain dominated by reptiles. Lizards, snakes, and iguanas have bodies well adapted to hot, dry climates. Their scales help limit water loss, while their ability to adjust activity according to temperature helps conserve energy. In the early morning, reptiles often emerge from hiding to bask in the sun. When the ground becomes too hot, they quickly retreat into rock crevices, bushes, or bury themselves in the sand. Many species are more active at night when temperatures drop. They hunt insects, rodents, and small prey that appear in the darkness. Desert reptiles can obtain most of the water they need from their food. Their bodies also produce more solid waste, helping minimize water loss. No predator in the Amazon rainforest, nor any storm in the Andes, can change Colombia's nature as quickly as humans. In just a few decades, pristine forests that existed for millions of years have been fragmented. Rivers have changed color, and many animal species have been forced to leave their habitats. Colombia is one of the most biodiverse countries in the world. However, this richness also makes its ecosystems fragile in the face of climate change and human exploitation. In the Colombian Amazon, deforestation for agricultural expansion, livestock farming, industrial crops, and logging continues. Forests are continuously fragmented into smaller patches, making it increasingly difficult for species like jaguars, brown capuchin monkeys, or giant anteaters to find territories large enough to live and reproduce. For species that need large ranges like jaguars, new roads and settlements act like invisible walls. Fragmented populations gradually decline, weakening the ability to maintain natural genetic diversity. Rivers are also under heavy pressure. Illegal gold mining and human pollution introduce sediment, chemicals, and heavy metals into waterways. This directly affects fish, giant otters, river dolphins, and countless creatures living in wetlands. In the Andes, climate change is causing temperatures to rise each year. Glaciers on high peaks are shrinking, altering water sources for millions of people and downstream ecosystems. Cloud forests are also shifting higher. Many species of hummingbirds, orchids, and animals adapted only to cool climates are forced to expand their ranges. But once they reach the mountaintops, there is nowhere higher to go. In the Orinoco Plains, rainfall patterns are becoming harder to predict. Some years bring unusually long floods, while others bring early droughts that dry up swamps. These changes affect the reproductive cycles of fish, waterbirds, caimans, and many amphibians. Climate change is also increasing extreme weather events. Heavy rains cause landslides on Andean slopes, while prolonged heat waves raise the risk of wildfires in areas that were once always humid. But Colombia's nature still holds hope. The country has established many national parks and protected areas, connecting biological corridors so animals can move between fragmented forests. Reforestation programs, river basin protection, and ecotourism development are also helping reduce pressure on nature. Many indigenous communities such as the Embera, Tacuna, and Kogi continue to preserve the forests where they have lived for generations. Their traditional knowledge is becoming an important part of modern conservation efforts. The future of Colombia does not depend only on the adaptive power of jaguars, Andean condors, or green anacondas. It also depends on the decisions humans make today. Because if the forests disappear, rivers run dry, and cloud forests no longer cover the mountain slopes, Colombia will lose not only its rare animals, the country will lose the very thing that has made it one of the most wondrous lands on the planet. Protecting Colombia is not just protecting a country, it is preserving one of the Earth's most precious treasures of biodiversity, so that the songs of hummingbirds, the footsteps of jaguars, and the pulse of the great jungle continue to echo for future generations. Which region of Colombia impressed you the most? Was it the mysterious Amazon jungle, the cloud-shrouded peaks of the Andes, the flooded Orinoco Plains, or the La Guajira Desert, where golden sands meet the blue sea? Please share your thoughts in the comments. We would love to know which land left the deepest impression on you. If you love nature documentaries about wild places, don't forget to hit like, share the video, and subscribe to the channel to join us on journeys exploring magnificent ecosystems around the world. Every like, every share, and every subscription is not only encouragement for the production team, but also helps spread the message of nature conservation to more people.